Hello, friends. Welcome back. Let's take a moment and just kind of lean in to our felt sense of being. This is not a meditation, just to let you know. But I want to just see if we can take a dip into who we experience ourselves to be. Like I am. When you go back and back and back through all the layers, you will always end up in and as I am. And that is, of course, who we are. But most of us don't just lean into that right from the beginning. We start moving back into our sense of I am, the experience. But we keep bumping into all these layers that are covering who we experience ourselves to be. So, this I am expression or experience is always the same. But we need to get there because instead of putting our attention on that felt sense of I am, we put our attention on these layers that come after I am, that come after the pure experience of our I am presence. And when we keep landing, let's say, on these layers, we say, I am this, I am that, I am so and so. Whatever comes after that, that is the unconscious programming that we all live under. But we can't ignore that. We can't just go to I am. Some can, yeah. They may have some previous experience with that, and then it's easier, of course. That's why practice is always very highly recommended. So if you start when you start your journey to I am, to waking up to the oneness that we are, that you are, first we land on these layers. I am a woman. I am Pernilla. I am a YouTube channel provider. I am this. I am that. I'm a gardener. I'm a runner, right? That all comes behind it. That's great. We can have some beautiful experience here on planet Earth. Where it gets a little tricky is when the deeper programming that we are very unconscious of start coloring our I am presence experience, such as I'm not good enough. It's always I am, right? I am this, I am that, I'm not good enough, I'm not capable, I am too this, I'm too little of that. um, it's always I am. Even if we say I don't trust myself, let's say it's still the I am, that's still the I that we're speaking from. And we are basically putting a label in front of it that is a lie, but it feels like the most true thing in the world. So that's why when you start turning around and start moving towards awakening to your true nature, you can be sure that you're going to have to meet all these layers. That is why most of us would say that the journey home is a long, windy road, right? It's very hard to go straight. Some people have the experience of it. I was one of them. I am one of them many, many years ago when I still lived in Denmark. Where I had that, I was meditating and I was just flooded with this love, with this light, with this gratitude, what we call gratitude, but it's really love and just full of good. Hard to describe it. But it didn't last, right? And that happens to most of us if we have these openings, these awakenings. They're incredible. And we really get a sense of who and what we are. And so sometimes the light can penetrate all the layers. And I would say that is probably what can be called a grace experience. And when it then goes away, the experience, not the I am can never go away, but the experience of that beauty can temporarily go away, even though temporarily, maybe many, many years. And that is not because we were bad or we did something wrong. And those were all the thoughts that I went through when mine went away. And that is because all these layers are still there. You may have the most beautiful experience of who you are. And in that moment, it's not colored by these layers. But eventually, if we don't, we can't really keep this alive and burning because these unconscious and unloved, unhealed, unintegrated parts of us, layers, they pull us into that again. And then it seems that we are losing it. But we haven't lost it. We have turned away from it because these unconscious layers, they feel more true again. And then we start moving into those layers and start identifying. And then, of course, we're back to either going totally down into whatever anxiety and depression, and especially after you've had one of those big ones. I speak from experience again. It was very, very hard when the experience changed and it was interpreted as it went away. So, but it gave me an opportunity over the years, didn't happen that same day, to consciously connect with that light. Where when it happened, it was during a meditation for me, and it was incredible, but it was not something I was specifically doing differently than I normally would. I was definitely sitting in a meditation and I was opening up to the divine, which I'd done before, and then suddenly, this light came in, and but it lasted a couple of months maybe, and then from then on, I had to kind of find my way back to it again. And that was challenging. You might relate, and it's not easy. But once that we have been struck, by that light or by that lightning, we can't just turn away from it. Something was touched. We know something now. So where did it go? Well, it didn't go anywhere. It's again, we went somewhere. And we keep going there, and that's why we keep doing workshops and therapy and healing and coaching, whatever we do. It's because we want to come back here, but we're moving in the wrong direction. I always want to add, of course, that if we do it to take whatever steps we need to unhook from those layers, so we liberate that energy, and then we are more able to come back here and leave this behind, the past, our past life, maybe our past lives. That is something that we are attached to. It's like we're glued to it. So we need to unglue that stickiness, and it will help if we find out what this stickiness is, usually an attachment, a belief, past memories. So we need to do the work to unhook ourselves, to liberate ourselves from that, not trying to change it. Of course, there might be things that will be helpful to change. Maybe you're eating very unhealthy, and that food, that those toxins we put in our bodies make it harder to let go. Right? So we need to look at that and find out what is needed to not be attached or addicted to certain foods or alcohol or something, because that makes it hard to let go of what is underneath. So there is a lot of work that needs to be done before we can let it go. But don't try and make it and change yourself. Only change the part that is gripping by softening it so it can let go. Now we are more in touch with who we are as I am. When we are not engaging anymore in the past limited layers, we are more able and available for I am, and to become aware what it is, and then what it is without those layers. It's two very different things. It's like the pure projector, the light, with all these slides in front of it. And then we identify that and we move into the picture that's being projected out. Or just to really stay with that light, with the light of the projector, your I am presence. And from there, you will start feeling what is actually true about your light. It is love. It's peace. It is trust. It's connection. It's certainly joy. It's a sense of oneness with all, fulfilled. There, in the I am, there is no grasping to get something, because I am all of it already. So it's up to me to be that consciously and allow it to radiate out. Now, what is radiating out is the light itself, but there's still qualities. There are qualities in that light that will start showing up. Let's say it's our aura, right? The I am presence. That is like an aura, a frequency. And the more we lean into that, the more we spend time in that, put our attention on it, we will notice what is already here. We're not creating anything, we already are everything. But then we can start paying attention to what is this? Oh, it's peace, it's love. And then you feel more motivated to experience that and not the old past self or the old layers. Now we get interested, like, oh, peace. Yeah, I want to experience peace. I really want peace. I've had so much the opposite of peace in my life. And I realize I'm longing for more peace. So then we stay with that, because now we can feel that that is actually the truth of I am. So we're putting our attention there, and we allow that peace to ooze out, to fill our aura where we are aware of it. There's other things. There is the fulfillment. We're not going to walk around feeling lack, like I have to do something to get money, right? That's what all these layers are doing, because we believe we are separate from I am. So then we can start feeling what it feels like, where you don't have to struggle, where everything you need is here, where all your needs are met. And this is, I know there might be some of you go like, yeah, right. Yeah, yeah. But that's because you still have these layers here. that will tell you, right, yeah, you have to work hard for this. You have to do this to have your needs met, right? So, but we don't always notice that it is the past that's just trying to um, convince us that I am is not enough. You have to do these things. You have to be this. You have to act this way. But it's not true. It's only true in these layers. So we need to come into this sense, this felt sense of I am, and start paying attention what it is, what are the qualities, what are the flavors. This is it. This is all we need to do. Not to say we have to sit on the couch and watch TV all day. No, because God, the I am presence is probably not very interested in numbing itself out. That's something that happens here in the layers, unless you watch some shows that are really inspiring you. I'm not saying we should get rid of anything, but we should spend more time here and learn to trust it and learn that we can trust the qualities of I am. Like I used to I have shared before here that I would use quotes from the Bible, like I go before you and um, make the crooked places straight. That's one that I used for many years. So I started trusting that more and more. But it never really became my deepest core resting place. I would go there a lot and it would be very helpful, but there was always this tendency where the old patterns would pull me back out. And with the changes in energies that we have experienced here the last several months, and I mean, the higher frequencies are coming in and they're helping us bring up these layers so we can really let them go. But then at a certain point where you start living from this, and then you start that this is where I talk about the recent videos, I am somebody who, well, I am somebody who lives and rests and enjoys the abundance and fullness of the divine presence, of my I am presence. You start finding expressions that really resonate with that and that make you feel a release, a relief, a click, a deep breath, a joy, a smile on your face, like, oh. And what I've been experiencing for a long time, but much more this, whatever months this has been happening for me, is that these layers seem so ridiculous. I may have shared that on yesterday's video too, because it's very real. It's like, this makes no sense. How can it ever make sense that I am the fullness of life and then I believe that there can be lack? So it's getting easier and easier to let go of these layers every time they show up. And I'm going like, that makes no sense. And, then I would use one of my other little tricks is to say, I'm not interested in that anymore. I'm not interested in these layers from the past, these programs. I'm not interested. Don't need to fight it anymore or convince myself. So I've just lost interest. But I am interested in this. I am interested in finding out what it's like to live in deep trust and in deep peace that everything is taken care of and I don't need to make it happen. Things will come to me. It will be things that I may need to do, to pay my bills. Something may just show up that feels like in full resonance. And then I will just follow that because it resonates inside of me. And then more and more, the more than the outer past life experience seems ridiculous, and it really is. It is so ridiculous. But, we can't see that until we can see that. And so we need to take the time to keep coming back here and consciously do whatever we need to do to unhook from these layers that are blocking that fulfillment and the effortlessness of it to come through. We may be really, really busy doing something, super busy, very involved, but it's not coming from a place of panic or I have to do something or fear or survival. We have lived in this state of survival that we have to do something, right, to survive. And our nervous system is so identified with it because it's so familiar. It's almost like I need to be anxious. I need to feel that I need to do something to survive in order to get my needs met. It's almost like they are the same thing, right? I'm I'm not surviving if I'm not anxious. So I need to be anxious. And then I need to go and do something to survive. And we're so accustomed to it that we don't even know we're doing it. It's just this automatic background noise in our nervous system. And when you see that, and that's why I'm just trying to expose a lot here on my YouTube channel. So, because once you can see it, then you can go, oh, yeah, I see I'm doing that. Right there is a gap where you can start choosing something else. You can start practicing. And I would still really encourage all of us to practice the term, I am somebody who. Once you have found out, maybe write it down. I might do a little workshop around this because it's very practical. And if we repeat it, it gets easier. So if you're interested in that, please comment below and let me know if you're interested, and I will keep you informed. But once you know who you are, I'm somebody who, and then all these layers and limitations and past experiences, once you're letting them go more and more, then you need to take time to walk around. I am somebody who gets my needs met effortlessly. And then you walk around and wondering, what does that feel like if I trust that all my needs will be met without me going into panic or survival or whatever? What would that feel like? When you can feel that from deep down your I am presence, it's not up here. I always say that this is very different. Then you can do a walking meditation or a walking prayer, or you really let yourself feel, oh my God, this is amazing. I am receiving effortlessly and joyfully. So this feeling is what we need to anchor in our body. Then our frequency changes, our aura, our oozing start going out. And it's like we open up for that experience to come in now, that we're not stuck in all these layers. It's quite a journey we're on, isn't it? But it's a good journey. It's the journey home to freedom, to oneness, to love. So if this is something you're interested in, please reach out and let me know if there's an interest in doing a workshop, an online workshop, or if you need help one-on-one from me, you can sign up for a self-discovery session. Or generally, I would just like to hear from you and how this is for you. Am I missing certain things? Are there things that you go, yeah, how about this or how about that? Please put it in the comments. I'll do my best to share what I have as my own experience, but also many times when I start talking about something, there's always a lot more that comes through that I didn't really know about before I opened my mouth. So there is something about knowing that there is a receptivity out there. Then it's almost like sometimes it feels like it's just being drawn out of me. So I'm going to pause here for today. Please like, share, subscribe, comment, and let's stay in touch, okay?